All right, welcome to FAWKES, a very news quickie for you guys today. I want to talk just a little bit about Nikita Casap and kind of the state of our society in regards to current politics and political extremism that we've talked about a lot on this show. Today's episode is brought to you by ghostbed.com/wolfpack50. Ghostbed.com/wolfpack. And then we have factormeals.com/wolfpack50. Factor Meals coming out with that new keto friendly menu. They have the protein heavy and the calorie conscious, which you guys all know about if you've been following the Failure to Stop podcast or FAWKES podcast. How I've always been all about that. I've done the protein heavy and the calorie conscious through my weight loss journey and getting into shape, good physical shape. That's all. Factor Meals played a big role in that and getting my meal plan correct. And now they have the whole keto thing going on too, which I think is great. They also have all the different snacks and everything. So head over to factormeals.com, use the promo code wolfpack50. Today, I wanted to bring this up because as this is a live chat, so I appreciate Armory Knight and Mer530 being in here. But Armory Knight says, let's talk about this. Let's talk about these idiots. Yeah, so right now, the political extremism is pretty mainstream, or it's a big topic on mainstream media news. We didn't hear a lot about political extremism when Biden was in office, but so far in the comings of Donald Trump, as he was rising in the polls, the media started reporting on political violence and started reporting on threats and things. And the reason they do this is because they know and they understand that there will be copycats. If really you didn't want any kind of copycat behavior, you would not make it mainstream media. You wouldn't put it out there to the mainstreams, and so that it would incite or give people ideas of further of violence. We also know that when it doesn't play out in their cards, then they will not release that information under that exact excuse of, well, hey, listen, we know that there was a school shooting, but there's a manifesto and we don't want to put it out there because we don't want there to be anything else. But they'll give you just enough information to let you know where politically this person may or may not have stood. And it kind of leads or eludes conspiracies, which fuel the fire. And they know this. It's well planned out. Mainstream media has been doing this for over 50 years now. They're experts at the psychology of the news, and yet they still do things and they still put information out there as if we don't know what they're trying to do. We haven't seen, when we had the Biden administration, I don't want to say that there wasn't anybody that was trying to assassinate Joe Biden or Obama, the last two presidents, but we didn't get to hear about it and they kept it under wraps. Whereas now, any type of political violence or the thought of political violence towards Donald Trump makes mainstream media news. It goes viral very quickly, and the algorithms, they almost applaud this type of conversation and they allow the conversation to grow on social media platforms, when in reality the goal should be to minimize that and not maximize it. But I think that the mainstream media, that the big government propaganda machine government has a goal, and I think it is that this ends in some type of an assassination towards Donald Trump. I believe in my heart, call it a hunch maybe, that this is what the end goal is for big government, is that there is an assassination, that there is violence towards anybody that's affiliated with the Trump party. We have the mayor. We have a lot of things that we're going to talk about tomorrow. The fire at the governor's house. There's a lot of other things that are going on that are political extremists. But I just want to focus on a very short episode today on this Nikita Casap case, because tomorrow's episode, we're going to really dive into this and just kind of put all of the pieces together. So this is coming from ndtv.world. So go to ndtv.com if you want this. I pull sources from various different news sources. I try to find the ones that don't have all of the, when they mention Trump's name, they have to add 3 sentences of Trump is a renowned right-wing conservative who is thought of to be a racist. And then they continue on with the they always have to put that opinion piece on. And so I go to other world articles so that we can beat around that bush. But I also make sure that these other outlets, the meat and potatoes of the source, the substance, matches what the mainstream is putting out. And then I kind of put my opinions or my 2 cents on that on these little quick takes, if that makes sense to you. So who is Nikita Casap, the U.S. teen charged with plotting Donald Trump's assassination? According to the federal affidavit, a classmate of Nikita Casap claimed that the teen regularly shared disturbing gore edit videos via Snapchat. I'd also like to take a moment to say that if you're not monitoring your teenagers' behaviors on social media while they're still living under your roof, while they're under the age of 18, that is a parental flaw. If you're not routinely checking the DMs, if you're not routinely checking what your kid's commenting on, what he's liking, what his algorithm is like, that is a parental illness that needs to be cured. Washington, United States. Nikita Casap, a Wisconsin teenager charged with multiple felonies for allegedly killing his parents, was conspiring to assassinate U.S. President Donald Trump and overthrow the American government. Now, before you're like, oh, how is some teenage kid going to assassinate the president? We want to look back to the previous attempted assassination in the age of the person who did it. Again, if you don't feel that a teenager is capable of that, we've already seen that absolutely a teenager, a young adult, is very capable of carrying out an assassination attempt. Federal affidavits obtained by CNN affiliate WISN stated that Casap expressed intentions to assassinate the U.S. president and dismantle the existing government. These sentiments were reportedly documented in handwritten notes and text messages found during the investigation. Casap was taken into custody in March. Law enforcement officials believe that the double homicide, this is when he killed his family, was calculated first step in a broader plan to secure financial means and autonomy to commit acts of political violence, according to CNN. His mother, Tatiana Casap, and his stepfather, Donald Mayer, were killed on February 11th. Their bodies were discovered on February 28th when deputies from the Waukesha County Sheriff's Office visited the family home to conduct a welfare check after the teen had been absent from school for an extended period, the New York Post reported. During the visit, deputies found in advanced state of decomposition. The mother's body was located under a pile of clothes and blankets near the kitchen, showing multiple gunshot wounds to the neck, torso, abdomen, and wrist. Mr. Mayer was found in the home office with a gunshot wound to his head. The federal affidavit referenced by WISN revealed that Casap's phone contained references to the Order of Nine Angels. The Order of Nine Angels, described as a network of people sharing neo-Nazi and racially motivated extremist ideologies. Wait a minute. Who's trying to kill Trump right now? Investigators also found images and messages tied to what they called a self-described manifesto regarding the assassinating the president, making bombs and terrorist attacks. I think it's very telling that we are now going to talk about a manifesto. I told you, when they want copycat stuff, when they don't want copycat stuff, they'll do things or hide things under the guise of, we're not going to give you the manifesto. We're not going to talk about it because we don't want there to be follow on. We don't want the repercussions of what we're going to give you. But in this case, they want these repercussions. And so now we're going to talk about the manifesto. Don't you find that convenient? Let me know in the chats. What are your thoughts on that? What are your thoughts about hiding the manifesto of a school shooter and what the thoughts and the psychology of a school shooter were? But let's discuss the thoughts and the psychology of another teenager that wants to and has killed his parents and wants to kill the president and dismember our government. A 3-page document found by the FBI allegedly promoted Trump's assassination as a way to spark a political revolution and save the white race. I thought Nazis and racists voted for Trump. I didn't know that they wanted to kill Trump. Huh, that's interesting. As to why specifically Trump, I think it's pretty obvious. By getting rid of the president and perhaps the vice president, that is a guarantee to bring some chaos. The document remains according to the affidavit reported by WISN. The manifesto included images of Adolf Hitler accompanied by the words, "Hail Hitler, hail the white race, hail victory." Maybe that's the reason why they didn't want this to leak in March when they knew that. Maybe that's why we're just now finding all about this now here in mid-April. I don't know. The FBI also claimed to have found images and instructions for modifying a drone into a weapon. I'm happy that they put that in there so that other people can have that idea in their brain that we should get involved in this whole drone thing. By the way, I think drone warfare is dumber than pulling guard in jiu-jitsu. Like, it's just such a cheap way of warfare. But hey, war isn't fair. Cass reportedly began financing the purchase of both a drone and explosives to execute his plan. Authorities also found photographs of Mayer's credit and debit cards, as well as login credentials for bank account, which they believe Cass intended to use, reported CNN. The Waukesha County complaint stated that Cass intended to flee the U.S. for Ukraine. And one Telegram message, he reportedly asked, "So while in Ukraine, I'll be able to live a normal life even when it's found out I did it?" ? This is very similar to the allegations that they had towards the actual complaint, the suspect who shot at Donald Trump, that he was also involved in trying to and having conversations via these Telegram messaging apps. When Nikita Casap allegedly revealed a classmate, according to the federal affidavit, a classmate of Nikita Casap claimed that the teen regularly shared disturbing gore edit videos via Snapchat. These included graphic war and gore imagery set to Russian music. Casap allegedly confided that he intended to kill his parents by shooting them. Though he initially lacked access to a firearm, he reportedly told classmates that his plan was to befriend someone who owned a gun and then steal it. The classmate also revealed that Casap claimed to be in contact with a man in Russia through Telegram with whom he was allegedly planning to overthrow the United States government and assassinate President Trump. So how does this young man even get in contact with a Russian? Or do we have another Fednapping? Do we have another federal agent that was involved? I don't know. I'm asking you what you think. Casap is also said to have told classmates that if they ever saw the news of 10 coordinated attacks, it would have been his doing. I'm almost done with this. We're going to talk a little more about it. Charges Nikita Casap face. Casap facing 9 felony charges in Wisconsin, according to court records. These include 2 counts of first-degree initial homicide and 2 counts of hiding corpses, based on the criminal complaint filed in late March in Waukesha County, reported CNN. So, while Cass has not yet entered any pleas for the state charges, he has appeared in court on April 9th. Preliminary hearings, blah, 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 blah. What do they put in the water in these Indian towns like Waukesha? Remember, we had the driver, the politically charged driver who drove through the crowd in Wisconsin. I don't know what's in the water politically in Wisconsin right now, but somebody needs to look into it, because this is disturbing. This is disturbing, to say the least. I say that because right now it seems that everybody that is suffering from mental illness happens to be also extremely anti-Trump. I don't know. I'm not the one writing the articles. I'm not the one publishing the articles, but it appears to me that we didn't have this problem when Biden was president. We didn't have this problem when Obama was president. We didn't have people trying to assassinate. We did have somebody that was trying to uncover a child sex ring. Here we had a purpose, somebody's sister, somebody close to them. But now what we have is just random politically incited violence that the news in April has decided to make complete mainstream. And again, going against what they did before under the Biden administration with the school shooting or anything else, where we hide manifestos, where we hide diaries, where we hide things. In this administration, we just put it out there for the public. Is the government trying to elicit some sort of copycat scenario? Mer 530 says, I do think there was a white supremacist group arrested for attempting a hit on Obama, but that's all I can remember. I think Obama had an attempt, but it was a Fed-led once again. And yes, every single president has had many. And the status quo is don't talk about it because we don't want copycats. Don't make it mainstream. Bury it deep. Let's not make it go viral. Let's do what we can to keep these things silent. I think that's harder to do in today's society because of social media and because everybody wants information and feels that we're all privy to this information. We're privy to it right now. But I just find the hypocrisy or the conflict, it's conflicting of when do we release manifestos and when do we not release manifestos. And there seems to be a direct correlation when we do and we do not release things depending on who is in office. Tomorrow's episode, the big long political news episode, we're going to talk not only about the Nikita Casap case right now, and we have been talking about this because I do think that it is important news to pay attention. And if we're trying to pay attention to the totality of what's going on and what's building up to what's going on, and kind of foreshadow as we do the Tanstradamus predictions, it's important that we draw the lines, and we just can't do it in an hour. And so it's easier to break it up and give you a little bit extra added content. Today, we just recorded our second episode of the Holtzclaw case. Daniel Holtzclaw is serving 200 years in prison for a crime that he did not commit. After hundreds of hours of investigation, years of investigating this, I have joined forces with another investigator, Cameron Santana from True Crime Santana podcast, that Holtzclaw is completely innocent of his charges. And so we have a year-long project of a podcast that is not as entertaining as it is information, showing you the evidence, the overwhelming evidence that Daniel Holtzclaw is innocent. And so if you really care, if you want to be involved, if you want to know why a white Christian police officer who's not actually white, he's Asian, is serving 200 years in prison for a crime he didn't commit under the basis of political extremism and politically motivated justice system, I encourage you to go over to the free Holtzclaw podcast. Please go over to the free Holtzclaw podcast. Episode 1 and 2 are up. This is 30-minute to an hour-long episodes, taking the case step by step for an entire year. So you will have the totality of this case to show you all the evidence, not by opinion, but by fact, that Daniel Holtzclaw is innocent. We want you guys to be a part of that. And also, if you have information or you have a different perspective that might convince us that we got it wrong, again, at the end of the day, I'm not keen on trying to free somebody who is guilty even of one of the crimes that he's been accused of. If I thought that he was guilty of any of them, I would stop this project immediately because there's no money. I'm not taking a single dollar, not a single dime. It's not even paying for its production. Any of the money made from the Holtzclaw case right now is going to the Free Holtzclaw project. It's going straight to Ginny Holtzclaw, and because he doesn't even have attorney fees. He was now able to do a GoFundMe. He wasn't able to have a union or any kind of union representative. So he's had a public defender from day one, which is also part of the problem with this case. And again, in any other world, in any other universe, if he was any other color than what he is, which is white, which he's not white, he's Asian. But if the media would have painted him to be Asian or Mexican or anything like that, the true crime, the true crime fans would rally around this to try to free a guilty man. But because he's been painted as a white Christian male police officer, that is what he is truly guilty of. And he is serving 200 years in prison. Please head over to the Holtzclaw, Free Holtzclaw podcast today. It should be out on Apple Podcasts. It's still trying to be verified, taking their sweet old time in verifying it, but it is on Spotify. So please head over to Spotify if you can and go ahead and start giving it some 5-star reviews. Right. Full Crown finds out. So Daniel can't get funds, but a kid that stabs another kid can. Make it make sense. I cannot make that make sense for you. There's a lot of things in the Holtzclaw case that make absolutely zero sense. So I hope that that you would head over there. Also, big news in the book, Pig Latin, a seriously funny true story. I had an unbelievable meeting this week. And so it's very, very exciting times, guys. It's very exciting times. I don't even care to tell you anymore because I know that you guys are my true fans, and all of those who have pre-ordered the book that are getting your bookmarker that was designed by first responder artist and podcast extraordinaire, producer extraordinaire, dispatcher extraordinaire, corrections cop extraordinaire, Jonathan Bates. Guys, I'm telling you now, I can't tell you the whole totality of this, but I will tell you right now that it was laughable that we would think that these were just something kind of that I came up with. Actually, John Bates came up with it because you guys have been following this book for like 4 years now, and it's finally coming out, right? And it's published by one of the major publishing houses, Simon Schuster, Atria Books, once in a lifetime book deal. All the dreams of this book, all the hard work of this book are just coming through. And now it's gotten crazier. It's crazier than my book deal with Simon Schuster. That's all I can tell you. Now, hopes and prayers, God willing, this all comes to fruition, but we're in meetings this week. And now it's not even a joke that a signed and autograph, one of these bookmarkers, is actually way cooler than you even think. And so that's all I'm going to say at that. I'm not trying to sell you. All I can tell you this is that for all of you that got this limited edition, I'm not giving these out after the book comes out. Now I'm not. Like, I was going to just continue it on. Now I'm not, because I don't need to. I will no longer need to do this. These are now just for those who are on board day one. And so if I have your address and you have this bookmark, meaning if you pre-order the book, Pig Latin, a seriously funny true story, on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Books & Million right now, and you send me a DM, a screenshot that you ordered it, I will give you a signed copy of this, of me tasing a girl allegedly in the vagina, which is a story from the book. You'll get a signed a bookmark of this. And then if you buy an additional book for first responder, I'm going to send you all 4 of the series of bookmarkers. You guys are going to be sealed as you were with me on day one before this shit really got crazy. I'm not being hyperbolic about this. That's all the information I can give you. But if you want to be a part of this journey from day one, or at least let me know that you are a part of this from day one, go ahead and pre-order the book now if you haven't already done so, and send me that screenshot, and I will get. I'm going to call it. I'm doing last call. This is the last couple of weeks. I've said last call. I just want to make sure that everybody that wanted one of these is going to get one, and then I'm going to cut it off, and I will just know that you guys were there day one homies before this thing really got crazy. So at the end of the day, for all of the pre-orders that have gone out and has kept us trending in the charts as a pre-order, new releases, we were number 1 in the charts for new releases almost every single week. We have been up and down. Like, so on a Tuesday, we'll be in the top 15,000 of books sold on Amazon, and we'll be on the best new releases, and then I'll kind of drop off, and then it spikes up again. It seems like every time I do a podcast episode, it spikes. So maybe that's why I got to keep doing it. But I cannot thank you guys enough. Head over to our Patreon. It's less than $3 a month. A lot of extra content. You can get really personal with me on TANSEY Time. I'm getting very personal on there, letting everybody know exactly what's going on. And so for all of you guys who have been with me from Failure to Stop, from Drinking Bro Sports Tailgate Legends to Fox, to getting this book out, to getting the book deal, to now what's coming down the pipeline right now. It's very exciting times for me and my family. And it all started with all of you guys. So thank you guys so much. I cannot wait till tomorrow's episode of FAWKES News. where we're going to make all of this make sense. But I'm glad you were here to tune in and pay attention. Pay attention to the political violence and the attention that it is getting from mainstream media. That is going to be very important for the next coming weeks. Until tomorrow, guys, guns up, giddy up.